Hello, craft fans, art fans. I am here today because I'm going to try to do a painting. To give you a little reference, I have a friend who can take a blank piece of paper, put some ink on it or paint on it, and suddenly it's the most beautiful portrait you've ever seen. So I wanted to give it a try back when we were living together, and this was the best. I was just so proud of this. I'm still proud of it because I don't know what I was doing. I didn't draw anything, but I am a person who needs to draw something out. Otherwise, this is what we get. And I'm not unhappy with this. I think it's kind of creepy and fun. I don't know, that's supposed to be a bunny and it looks silly. And this is the paint palette I use. And it often just random stuff appears because I'm a mess. I'm lazy. Not lazy, but I like the path of least resistance. If I have paints on here that I can use, I'm going to use them. But now that I'm really trying to get into painting, I have decided that I like to draw them out first. So this was a loose sketch. This is from a class I did last summer, summer before. And again, I'm very proud of this, but I have to draw things. So I'm doing a craftsy class, watercolors and colored pencils. And I'm excited about it. I have a craftsy membership, a premium membership. They do have free classes. I pay for the premium membership because I think it really gives me sort of a kick to do the classes. It's not very expensive. I'm going to drop my affiliate link in the bottom if you want to check it out. Again, they do have free classes. You don't have to do the paid classes. And I'm really kind of upset. I haven't been using it that much. And so their latest newsletter came into my inbox and it was a watercolor colored pencil class. So I was excited about it. Ultimately, I think the final project is a landscape of some sort, but in the homework, she does these palettes, where you take the paint and get an idea of what the paints actually look like on paper, and and blending bars with the colored pencils, which I just think she had a whole page of them, and it by itself was a work of art, but this was mine just for fun to try it out. Anyway, before they get to the main project, there are little mini projects. There's a pear, an M&M, and these cherries. I thought the cherries would probably be the easiest for me. As you can see, I've already done the shadow. I'm using my cheap ass paints and some old colored pencils from a bag of my husband's art supplies, his old paintbrushes, and some, obviously, paper towel, but I have my t-shirt here to really clean out my brushes. I've mixed a couple paints, a couple colors here, this darker red, and then I tried to get a lighter red. Again, I'm not a painter, so I'm just trying to figure things out as I go, but I'm most excited about doing the paint with the colored pencils over it. So her suggestion, her mode of work is she does a wet on wet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get some water on here. Hopefully I'm doing this so you can actually see what I'm doing. So we'll get some water on there, and then I think this was the lighter cherry. Again, keep in mind, I am not a painter by any means. This is something very new for me. Whoops. And honestly, it's just, I feel like a person should have hobbies. I always say I'm very lazy, but really what my problem is that I'm always in my head. And if I don't manage to get out of my head, then the only way to keep from doing silly things like, oh, I don't know, eating chips and M&Ms all day, the only thing I can do is watch TV, which doesn't help with the M&M problem. So we're going to go with this darker color. You can actually see my colors. The darker of the two, which is more purple. And I think her cherries are much redder. The instructor for this class, I also have really bad glasses on, so I can't actually see what I'm doing. The instructor for this class, she says she has a cherry color that a cherry blend that she uses all the time, so she knows what she's doing. She teaches art, obviously. But I'm just using these colors. Whatever I get is what I get. Path of least resistance. I'm not trying to make a masterpiece. I'm not going to be in the Louvre or MoMA or, God damn it, any of those. So here I have a purple cherry and a mauve cherry. This one's from the 80s and this one's, I don't know. So I'm just gonna clean up my brush. Okay, so this class is about paint, watercolors and colored pencils. She does a technique called burnishing. Maybe you know what that is. I'm sort of just waiting for this to dry so I can add some colored pencils. A collection of reds, and that's kind of too pink, I think. A collection of reds she uses. Again, I'm using what I have, so I pulled out any of the red ones I had. She also says that she uses a cinnamon for her burnishing, but I think this sienna brown is the closest I'm going to get. So I'm going to go in and try to remember what she said, because normally I do these things and I watch the video while I'm doing it. But since I'm on my phone and downstairs in my studio, I don't have a way to watch that while I'm doing it. So if you really want good instructions, you should go check out the video. It's watercolor, combining watercolor and colored pencil, I think it's called. I'm just going to go for it because I don't know what I'm doing. So basically I just want to make this look like, give it some depth, right? So this seems right so far. She says she has a technique of making little loops, but tight, so you can barely tell that they're loops. I'm going to try this darker, see if I can, I don't know, that's not showing up at all. I think I may have made this cherry a little too dark. I mean, what are the purple cherries? Bing cherries? So this is more of a Bing cherry. Oh, blue. The shadow I did in blue and one of these red ones. Seriously, I'm not trying to teach you how to paint. I'm just trying to show you how. If your goal is to pick up a new hobby, I'm just here to show you that you don't have to have any skills to pick up a new hobby. I mean, isn't the whole point to learn as you go? So that's what I'm doing here. Again, I cannot stay in the lines on the top of this cherry. It looks like it's been beaten up. Well, that's a little better. So the blue, that's the key I forgot. So I'm doing the blue, trying to get a little bit of depth here. I like the way this lightness in the middle turned out. So I'm going to keep that, try to work around that. And so burnishing apparently is a heavy-handed technique. This is violet, where you go over really heavy. I think my paint maybe is not dry enough here. I'm going to take this brown, and I'm going to see what happens when I go over this. Bear with me, fingers crossed. I may just make this look like a rotten cherry, but I don't care. Ugh, gross. Don't eat this one. Don't eat this one. Ooh, it's rotten. Maybe if I do this. This looks terrible, but I'm going to keep going because why not? I'm going to take a thinner brush and just go in with, I don't know, this looks green and yellowy. This is kind of stemish, maybe some brown in there, right? Guess who cares? Not me. I'm not a professional artist. I think I mentioned that. And then I'm just gonna go and put my stem in. What would also be helpful is if I at least had the forethought to get a reference picture, because I do find that even if I can't really get the colors right away, if I have a picture that will show me, like when you take a photo and you look at it and it's two-dimensional, you know that when you took that photo, the thing you were looking at was three-dimensional. So in my mind, which maybe is a little bit weird, when I look at something two-dimensional and try to recreate it to make it look three-dimensional, I kind of just draw the lines. I don't think of it as the thing, I think of it as lines. And then I just try to make the colors look like the colors, and then usually that should get the result you're looking for. But since I do not have a reference photo, I'm gonna go with what I got. I also don't have a white pencil, which she suggested. She said she doesn't usually do, but she did go in here and around the edges. I don't have white, so I'm going to use this sort of, this, what does it say? Peach, light peach, which does something. Maybe I can fix this line here a little bit, or maybe I can just smudge it even more and make it look terrible, because why not? I wonder if that does something, maybe. Actually, why don't I just go over the whole thing? So, is this going to deter me from trying to paint the big picture, the big final project? No, I'm absolutely going to try the big final project. Oh, I'm also going to try to do these cherries again. And in fact, what I wish, this is just a wet brush. Wow, this looks terrible. Let's try this. So the wax in the colored pencils and the water from the watercolors is supposed to sort of react with each other in a way that allows you to get a better depth. I'm really unhappy with this, but not as unhappy with this. So if you think that this was bad, you know there's worse. But there's also better, because the person who did this is also the person who did this. And I like this. I'm really proud of this, even if I'm not proud of this. But this was a start. This was a class. This was fun. I stopped doing and going for however long I've been here. I hope it hasn't been more than 15 minutes, because I'm sorry if it has, because you didn't actually learn anything except accept whatever happens. It's not a gift for someone to have. It was a gift for me to have the time to paint. So anyway, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try the landscape. And if you are interested in Craftsy at all, I will leave my affiliate at the bottom in the description. And if you try it, let me know. Let me know how it goes. And thanks for watching my super low quality attempt at watercolor and colored pencils cherries.